Hi, I'm Heather from Singletrack World magazine, and today I am here with the Lauf Elja. Say hello to the Lauf Elja. Or should that be hello? That's my terrible Icelandic version of the word hello. The Lauf Elja is a unique mountain bike that challenges industry norms to deliver something a bit different. Designed with a focus on efficiency, speed, big volume tyres and rider confidence, the Ellia hopes to redefine your trail riding experience. Some key features of the Lauf Elja. Firstly, it's optimised for wider tyres. Embracing the aspects of wider tyres, the Ellia is engineered to accommodate up to 2.8-inch tyres, but there's clearance for up to 3 inches. This design choice claims to enhance rolling efficiency, traction and rider confidence, especially on rough terrain. Next, there's the Lauf single pivot rear suspension system. The Ellia features an ostensibly simple single pivot rear suspension system, utilising leaf springs to protect the shock from lateral loads. This design ensures durability, reduces maintenance and maintains a clean aesthetic without compromising suspension performance. Simple does not mean basic. Next, we've got that lightweight carbon fibre frame. Weighing approximately 1,960 grams for this medium frame, the Ellia's carbon fibre construction offers a robust yet lightweight structure, allowing riders to tackle everything that's mountain biking. There's also advanced suspension technology if you want it. Select models come equipped with RockShox's flight attendant system, an intelligent suspension setup that automatically adjusts to the riding terrain, optimising performance without you having to stop and faff with fingers. It's also got a versatile geometry and build options. The Ellia is available in both cross-country and trail configurations, featuring 120mm and 130mm fork travels respectively. Riders can choose from various build kits to match their riding style and preferences. Mountain biking and gravel riding are both off-road cycling disciplines, but they differ in terrain, bike design and riding style. Here's a breakdown. Firstly, terrain. Mountain biking is primarily on rugged trails, single track, rocky paths and technical descents. It involves obstacles like roots, jumps and drops. Gravel, on the other hand, focuses on smoother dirt roads, fire roads and unpaved paths. It's more about endurance and less about technical skill compared to mountain biking. It also doesn't have quite the focus on skinny single track and tight technical corners. Secondly, there's the bike design. Mountain bikes have suspension, either front only or full suspension. They have wide, knobby tyres and a more upright riding position for control over rough terrain. Gravel bikes, on the other hand, look like road bikes but come with wider tyres, usually 38 to 50mm. They have drop handlebars and a rigid frame without suspension. They're designed for speed and comfort on unpaved roads. Thirdly, there's the riding style. Mountain biking emphasises technical handling, jumps, fast descents and tight turns. It often includes aggressive riding and manoeuvring over obstacles. Gravel is more about covering long distances efficiently, with a mix of road cycling endurance and mild off-road capability. Next is speed and efficiency. Mountain biking is slower due to rough terrain and technical challenges. Gravel, however, is faster and on dirt roads and mixed terrain, often covering greater distances with less effort. Lastly, there's gear and accessories. Mountain biking uses flat pedals, although sometimes clipless, padded gloves and full face or trail helmets for protection. Gravel uses clipless pedals like road bikes, lighter helmets and gear focused on endurance riding, such as frame bags for bikepacking. So, which one should you choose? Do you have a specific goal or type of riding that you're interested in? If you prefer long, adventurous rides on dirt roads with a bit of pavement thrown in, you probably want a gravel bike. However, if you enjoy technical challenges, jumps, and rugged trails, the mountain bike is what you're after. So I'm joined in the studio now by my colleague Mark, who's also been riding the Ellia because the medium that we've got here was the perfect size for both of us. So what are your early thoughts on the Ellia?
The Ellia is a cross-country bike. That's how Lauf have sold it. But I was surprised by just how much it could handle beyond what you might perceive as being the limits of XC. The geometry at the front is slack enough at 65.6 degrees to help the bike handle some pretty gnarly terrain, and the super wide bars at 780 millimeters also help when things got technical. I think the big volume tyres also helped with that overall feeling I got that this bike crossed the boundaries between trail and XC riding. In short, it didn't hold me back from hitting my local trails at full tilt.
And how did you find it when you were climbing?
Well, that's where the flight attendant system kicked in noticeably. It essentially locks out the suspension on the climbs, which together with the big tyres really help with the traction. This was your first time with the flight attendant and an automatic lockout. How did you find it?
So I really liked it. Yeah, it was the same thing of noticing it on the climbs. I'm much newer to mountain biking. I've not been doing it as long. And a thing I really struggle with is getting up those kind of rocky, gravelly, skittery climbs. And I just didn't have to think about it anymore. I could just ride.
You're right, it makes that little buzz noise every time it makes an adjustment, and it does it an awful lot. It's not a horrible buzzing noise, it doesn't get in the way. And the one thing about this bike is it's super quiet. I think the big volume tyres help with that. The simplicity of the single pivot system, which we'll talk about in a bit. But how many times have people out there got to the bottom of a really good technical descent and realised that you've just done the whole thing with your fork or your shock locked out? You don't have to worry about that. Yeah. It takes care of it entirely, which was brilliant for me. I loved it.
And how did you find the Lauf single pivot design?
Well, single pivot, there's a lot of people have a lot of opinions about single pivot. I love single pivot designs, primarily because of the simplicity of them. There's so much less to go wrong. I think with the Ellia, the beauty comes in the combination of the single pivot, the flight attendant system, and the big tyres. Altogether, they just felt right. They're kind of more than the sum of their parts sort of deal, if you get what I mean. How did you find the electronic shifting and the wireless dropper post?
Again, for me, it was all about how it takes the focus from having to think about what I'm kind of doing with the settings on the bike and allows me to actually just ride it again because they were so responsive. I just knew that the second I needed that seat out of the way or I needed to change gear.
I love the fact that there's no adjustments needed to the rear mech. There's none of that sort of, the indexing's just slightly out and it's all a bit clicky, so I just need to turn the barrel adjuster on the cable. The clever system basically adjusts itself. So you always get perfect shifting. I love the clean cockpit. There are just two cables on this bike and they're brake hoses. The cleanness of the cockpit together with the simplicity of the single pivot design, I just love the look of this bike. I would sum up and say that this is kind of XC plus bike for me. You get an awful lot more out of it than you think you're going to get. So looking forward to getting some more miles on it.
Well, that's all from us. We've only really scratched the surface of what the Ellia is capable of, so we need to get a lot more miles on this bike over the next few weeks for a more comprehensive review to be available, and that will be over on singletrackworld.com, along with a lot more information about the full range and prices of the Lauf Elja.